and welcome to the 2023 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championship. I'm Paavo Stubstad with Central Coast Disc Golf, joined today by Jake Peters, also from Central Coast Disc Golf.
Thank you very much, Paavo. Excited to be here.
Today, for the Round 1 feature card coverage, we'll be taking a look at Wildlife Prairie Park Disc Golf Course. The players featured today will be Nicolai Michaelsen, Ryan Mulder, Axel Olsen, and Peter Green. And something to note before we get into the coverage here is that there was actually an air quality delay that delayed the players' start time by an hour and a half. So the players were pretty antsy to get going, as were we, when the round finally started at 4:30 p.m. Everybody hoping to finish before dark. Starting off here on hole 1, we've got a 765-foot par 4, pretty wide open except for those two trees you saw off the tee. They're not Mandos, so you can go to either side of them, leaving players the option to attack this hole however they choose. First to tee here, we have Nicolai Michaelsen. He's got a rating of 981, and he's from København in Denmark. He goes for the big Anheuser flex shot around the left side of those trees, flexing back nicely.
Next
and
up,
that should put him in a
Ryan
good
Mulder,
spot for his second
St.
shot.
John, Indiana.
Yeah, no surprise there. I think we're going to see some smashes on hole 1 here.
Next up, we've got Ryan Mulder. He's got a rating of 994, and he's from St. John, Indiana. And he was actually the winner of the PDGA United States Amateur Disc Golf Championship. Giving James Conrad a run for his money with that run-up from 10 feet behind the tee pad. And you can see why he does it. The kid throws a mile.
Axel Olsen, Mercer Island, Washington.
And next up, we've got Axel Olsen from Mercer Island, Washington, with a current rating of 1,002. He was actually the winner of the 2023 Santa Cruz Amateur Masters Cup. And something funny to note is, for those who know the Masters Cup, a tradition is that the amateur winner gets to be on the feature card for the pro weekend, but Axel was unable to make it because he had to go to prom and take his SATs.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
He's what,
16 or 17, yeah.
Youngster.
Yeah, he just finished his junior year of high school. Finally, we've got Peter Green from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He's got a current rating of 982, and he's also got a smash of a forehand.
Holy cow, look at that.
Getting a full flex on that. Didn't quite get as much turn as he wanted, so it fades out a little bit to the right of the fairway, but that should be fine there. There's no out of bounds. Solid looking upshot there. A little bit deep, but he should have about a 25 or 30 foot putt from there.
Yep, great shot. I think these guys were a bit antsy to get out there because they're just going for it.
Yeah, I mean, we were all a bit antsy, nervous about finishing before dark. Nobody wants to come back the next morning and play the last few holes at 7 a.m. or whenever they make you do that in events like this.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Nicolai's second shot, losing the sunglasses. Put a little too much juice on it. He's in the rough, deep of the basket, but he didn't go too deep in there. He might have a putt to work with from out of there. As we watch a few of the other players throw their upshots here, I should note something fun about this course is that each of the holes, if you look at the tee signs, actually have a name. And this first hole is called Fox Fling.
That is fun. I like that. Something a little different, you know?
Yeah, not a lot of courses where I've seen that. Maybe one or two others. And here's Nicolai for birdie from the rough.
Oof, just right.
It's tricky from in there. And Peter dealing with a little bit of a low ceiling. As you can see, he had to kneel and misses just low there. Axel with a clean look.
Oof.
A little bit left side.
Maybe a little jitters on the first hole here, Paavo? What do you think?
You got to imagine these players, I don't think many of them have been on camera before.
True.
I would guess that Axel has being or Ryan has being the United States amateur disc golf champion. I'm not sure if the Masters Cup amateur side was filmed, but I would guess that for either 3 or 2 of these players, this is their first time on camera. So that camera jitters are a real thing too. As Ryan sneaks in his birdie putt there, barely over the rim. And 3 players left just to tap in their pars before we move on to hole 2. What?
Ooh. Wow.
Or so they thought. Tap in their pars before moving on to hole 2. I gotta say, like, sometimes those spit outs, it's because the putt was too high or had too much power on it, but that was a perfect putt. Just nice and soft, low. I don't understand what happened there. I feel pretty bad for Peter having to start on that note.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
Here we take one more look at Ryan's immaculate form as he runs up from way behind the tee pad, puts all he's got into that drive. Beautiful.
Watch it fly.
And moving on to hole 2, another par 4. This one 630 feet, slightly shorter than hole 1, but quite a few more trees to contend with. Players are just trying to get out to the right or left side. There's more trees in the center, and then approach with either a hyzer backhand on the right or a hyzer forehand on the left, ideally. Ryan up first.
Oh, yeah.
Another smash.
Another smash. You know, I don't mind a couple wide open holes to start it out, you know? Just let them air it out. Just go for it.
Get the arm warmed up.
Exactly.
And as you'll see as we progress through this coverage, these first 2 holes are not really indicative of what the rest of the course is like. This is one of the most varied courses I've ever seen. We've got some open holes like this. We've got some super technical wooded holes. We've got some water carries. We've got flat holes. We've got extreme elevation change on a few holes. This course really has it all.
It does. It's got a little something for everyone. Definitely check it out if you're in the area. It's great. Another smash. Keep it going.
Full flex.
Beautiful.
No.
Oh, Peter. Hitting the first available. Had a lot of power on it, though. I think he was just trying to go to the left of that. Let's see what he can do on the second shot here. 630. He might still be able to get a birdie if he can miss. Nope.
Clips a little bit.
That's too bad.
He's got a ways to go still.
I mean, you can see as we watch this coverage here, the air quality still wasn't great. It just dropped to levels that were acceptable for play to continue, but it was pretty smoky out there.
Definitely was. I feel like after everyone got going, though, it was, you know, you kind of forgot about it a little bit. You just really got into the disc golf, and I think people were having a great time out there.
With a course like this, that's understandable. And it was also certainly more noticeable on the open holes when you could see farther into the distance. And a lot of this course is in the thick woods where it definitely felt less noticeable.
Yep, it's true. It's like a routine upshot there. It's going to be inside the circle.
And here's Peter, hoping to just chip up and save a par. It looks like he's going to do just that. And I neglected to mention it during the preview, but the nickname for this hole is the Tama Red-Tailed Hawk.
Cool. I like it.
And I should probably note that a lot of these nicknames a lot of these nicknames exist because the property is across the street from the Wildlife Prairie Park Animal Sanctuary. So a lot of the hole nicknames are animal themed for that reason.
And we are seeing some birds here as well.
That's right. Axel made it as I was talking about the nicknames for the holes there, and Nicolai squeaked it in on the left side. He knew it was close, but hey, no pictures on the scorecards. We won't talk about the fact that we're watching a video. Good par save from Peter. And a par from Ryan as well.
11 those shorts, man. Kind of a honeycomb vibe or something.
Yep. I love seeing everybody's different huck faces. You know, some people do the tongue out of the corner of the mouth. Some people just grit their teeth. Some people just have tight lips. Everybody looks a little different when they're putting everything into a shot. It's kind of fun. Moving on to hole 3. This is a 283-foot par 3. This is one of the few holes today where our competitors will be playing from the short tee instead of the long tee. And this one is called the Conservation Challenge. Axel up first.
I'm guessing we're going to see some birdies here.
Yeah, this is a pretty basic hyzer. Really, the biggest challenge is those trees that kind of guard the hyzer line. But honestly, even if you hit them, you usually still have an in-the-circle putt.
Right. Just kind of get it out there, miss all these initial trees, and let it do its work. Throw something stable.
Another hyzer, another in-the-circle putt. Ryan going much higher than the other two.
Oh, there it is.
Coming down on the right side of the green.
It's very nice.
And this really indicates how much Peter leans on his forehand, because this seems like a backhand hole to me, but this guy knows how to shape a forehand. As you can see there, he's in the circle as well.
Wow, that's not easy to do. It's really not. Well, not for me anyway.
Yeah.
I guess these guys can do it.
Great birdie putt there from Axel. And he was the farthest out, so let's see if the others can make it, not get long putted, and get the first star frame of the round. Nicolai up next.
Bang. Not a problem. You heard that deep breath before he threw it. I think he was prepared for that putt.
Great putt from Peter as well. Wonder if Ryan feels any pressure here, knowing that the other players had already birdied, but it did not appear that he felt any.
Nope, not at all. He's cool as a clam.
And there we go. It only took 3 holes to get our first star frame of the day as we take one more look at Axel's putt here. Some beautiful slow-mo from our slow-mo camera operator, Keenan Dalton. And a solid putt from Axel. As we move on to hole 4, this is a 393-foot par 3. Kind of a straight shot off the tee to a hyzer finish. If you're throwing a right-hand backhand, it's a very particular shot, and as you can see there, there's a big ravine right before the green as well. It's a little bit right. Yeah, you want to come in just left of those trees. As you can see, he nicked them and came up short of the ravine, but this is a very specific shot, very tricky hole.
It goes straight for a long ways. You kind of just want to turn left at the very end.
As Nicolai threw that pretty far to the right, I gotta give him a little apology because I think me in the T-cam position, I might have been in his way for his run-up. In my defense, there are thick bushes behind the tee pad and I couldn't possibly move anywhere else, but I think he wanted to run up from a little farther back and he elected not to because I was there. So sorry about that, Nicolai, if that was my fault.
Dang it, Paavo.
Yep, it happens.
It does.
Come on.
Peter here working the flex forehand, and that ends up in the rough on the left, just short of the ravine. I think he just overturned it a little bit, but that line has the potential to get there, which was actually funny on a hole called the Black Bear Backhand.
He said, nah, I'm going to do this instead.
Oh,
man.
man. Great bid from Ryan there.
Huge run.
He actually said after that putt, I wasn't even trying to run it. Yeah, Nicolai giving it a little bit of a run there himself. Yeah, Peter, little chip up forehand. And let's see if Axel can make a big birdie putt from this awkward stance. Oh, couldn't quite get enough juice on it.
A little short there.
Yeah, decent bogey save from Nicolai. His second shot, really, he had almost nothing, and as you saw, it clipped some stuff, and he had no choice, really, but to just pitch up and take the bogey after that. Peter saving his par. And Ryan and Axel stepping up to do the same. As we take one more look at this beautiful forehand form from Peter. Makes it look so effortless, man. I wish I could do that with a forehand.
He's really showcasing it already.
One of my favorite partnerships with Discraft is the Paul Macbeth molds. The Athena specifically has just been a really fun one because it's a disc that I've been looking forward to. It's definitely a staple in my bag. It sits right between my Undertakers and my Onyx. A little bit blunt nose, so it can fight and handle the wind, it can handle some torque, and it's just one that I can throw at all powers. That's what I really like about it. I'm just glad that we're able to make this disc, have it in hand, and have it as a stock disc that anyone can get.
Ledgestone. Every summer, hundreds of disc golfers flock to the greater Peoria, Illinois area to compete in the sport's richest and most charitable event, the Ledgestone Open. But what does Ledgestone look like for the rest of the year? On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose the retailer that's as passionate about the sport as you are. Choose Ledgestone.
And we're back. Hole 5, par 4, 744 feet. Huge water carry off the tee here. Players are trying to get out into this open area, and the big arm ones are trying to get around the corner a little bit. And then it's a very specific pitch shot up this hill to this elevated green.
Yep, these guys are clearly going to go over the water. They're not laying up out here.
Yeah, especially Axel and Ryan, I noticed this round, have huge arms. These kids can throw 100 feet farther than me, or more.
Yeah, they're making short work of holes like this.
Nice hyzer flip from Ryan, getting way over the water, making it around the corner, and he's about 5 feet from Axel. Those are two of the best drives I would imagine the hole saw all day.
Awesome. Great control. There's that flick working again. It's a great shot.
Yeah, great power from Peter there. That's pretty much the ideal landing zone for a forehand. You can't really hope to get around the corner, so I'm sure that's exactly what he was playing for.
Right.
Uh-oh, that looks a little overturned.
Yeah.
Can he make it?
Oh,
Oh,
in the water.
didn't quite make it. That's out of bounds. So on this hole, any out of bounds shots off the tee go to the short tee as a drop zone, which is to the left of the pond that they were trying to throw over from the tee, which leaves him a hyzer from here.
It was a little long.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird straight skip, too. You'd expect a flare skip to the left there.
Right.
Peter with a hyzer forehand up to the green gets lucky through some of the rough on the left side, and he is inside 15 feet. A little bit fortunate there.
Yep, parked. Smooth flick. Parks it. Not a problem.
It's interesting from such a short distance that he chose a flex forehand, and
Right.
he had a ton of control with it. It's just not a shot selection you see a lot of people go with from such a short distance. You see Axel there just threw a hyzer side on.
Well, maybe we're learning these styles from these players.
Great upshot from Nicolai there. He's going to save a bogey after going OB off the drive, which is really the best you could hope for after that.
Bird.
Boom.
Good birdie from Axel. Brings him to 3 down through 5 holes. He's got a solid round going so far. Peter getting a birdie as well, bringing his score back to 1 down for the round. These guys are making it look easy.
Yeah, they played that hole so well.
Good save, dude. Nice shot.
And I forgot to say it before, but that hole was called the Bison Hump. Not sure, maybe the green is what gave it that name. So we take one more look at this beautiful drive from Ryan here. Hyzer flip. He told me he thought it didn't have enough turn, that it was going to clip the rough on the left side there, but man, he has so much snap that he just turned it over and it held long enough to make the corner. That was a fun one to watch. Moving on to hole 6, a 259-foot par 3. And as most disc golf viewers know, camera rarely does elevation justice. This is extremely steep downhill. Jake and I were talking about it earlier. We think it's possibly the steepest downhill wooded shot that we've ever seen on any course.
Absolutely insane. Look at this. You can't see anything past the tee pad. Really hard to film.
Hard to film, hard to throw as well, I would imagine, just trying to throw so lightly and still control it. You know, it's 259, but power-wise, it probably plays like 100 feet.
Right.
But if you throw that softly, then every disc kind of becomes overstable and difficult to control. Oh, no.
Yeah, and how he got that action, I still don't really understand.
That is a really unfortunate roll away there. He did not deserve that at all.
Oh, that's way too high.
Fortunate little kick off the tree, I think.
Ooh, that one looked like it was rolling towards the creek as well.
Caught a late log.
Hit the tree.
Nicolai with a nice gentle putter toss down the hill. That was looking good till it clipped those branches, so he came up a little short, leaving him with this upshot. Giving it a soft bid.
That's it. Yep. Yeah, I heard the players actually talking about this hole, how weird it was, but it's such a cool hole. It's a great hole.
You know, anytime I'm playing or filming a disc golf course and I see a hole where I think I've never seen anything like this before, I automatically love it. I know a lot of players tend to think holes like that are perhaps gimmicky or luck-based, but I don't know. A lot of disc golf courses have a lot of shots that feel like shots on a lot of other disc golf courses. So to me, it's just fun to see something unique.
Exactly. Maybe pull out a disc you don't throw very often or something and just, you know, play something new for once.
Yep. As we saw Peter putt for birdie there and make it. Good putt for par from Nicolai there. And I forgot to say it before, but this hole is called the Otter Slide, which is a great name. That's probably my favorite nickname so far. Taking one more look here at Peter's birdie putt after a great drive.
Very nice. No wobble. Look at a little baby face on that disc. You see that?
I did not see that.
There's a little mini face on his disc.
That's funny. I'll have to pay attention to that next time he's putting.
Yeah.
Moving on to hole 7, par 4, 457 feet. This one is called the Prairie Park Pitch. Now, don't let that 457 fool you. It is steep uphill off the tee and then heavily wooded second shot. Just awkward, one awkward shot after another, basically, the way this one S-curves up the hill.
Right here.
Another very unique hole, I think. 2 in a row here.
I agree. Yeah, this course has a lot of them. And that's going to put Peter in a great spot. I think that's just going to be a little chip backhand hyzer from there to the green. Yeah, he held on to that one a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Nicolai going to show us the backhand Annie. Nice and high.
What a toss.
Almost got you there, Jake.
He did. You know, I was standing where I thought would be the hero shot, the ideal shot, and they were making it there. I was surprised.
Yeah, that backhand from Nicolai was pretty much perfect. It had the perfect height and stayed right in the middle of the fairway. It was never really in danger of hitting any trees.
Right. So that last shot, that's more of what I was expecting. I didn't really think they'd get to me, but they were making it up there.
These guys may be AMs, but they're the best AMs in the world right now.
Dude, these guys can chuck.
They're kind of basically like your local pros that you would see at A tiers and B tiers wherever you live. That's about the skill level of these guys.
Right.
Ryan with a beautiful touch shot there. Little flex. Came up a little bit short, but he had a tricky lie. That was pretty good.
Axel with a nice little routine hyzer. He's going to put it right.
Oh!
Okay.
Skipped up and hit the cage. Wow.
Nearly puts it in there. Great shot.
Oh, that's inside.
Ground play.
Well, I was pretty fortunate. That shot was definitely an early release. And I think that may have been Peter's first backhand of the round, excluding putts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Think
he
you're right.
really relies on that forehand.
He leans on it.
Basically the opposite of me. He throws backhands about as often as I throw forehands. Almost never. Yeah, decent bid. No, sit down.
And it does.
Man, just an inch high there. Or I guess we should say a couple centimeters high for Nicolai. They don't use our silly system in Denmark. Yeah, collected himself, made the next putt. That's too bad. He was so close to getting the birdie there. Great birdie.
Backhand birdie right there.
Backhand birdie, he calls it.
Yep.
He knew it was different for him.
Backhand birdie.
You roll down to there? I thought you were like...
Yeah, he was right. He rolled down to it.
Love watching his forehand form. I'm always so jealous of people that have solid forehands. Next up, hole 8, a 500-foot par 4. Players are actually going to be teeing off from the short tee on this. It has a much longer 900 and something foot tee pad as well. They're going to be trying to get down this fairway here to around where the drone is now, and then a hyzer shot on their second up to this protected green.
Oh, get around it.
Yeah, he was trying to flex it up that left side, which is a much narrower gap than the one on the right. But if you want to get a big power forehand out there, that's kind of the only way to do it.
Oh, man.
There are a lot of trees to miss on this one.
I was just going to say, this hole is tough. I'm not sure how it's going to look to the viewers, but, man, when you're out there, and it's daunting for sure. And it's chewing these guys up a little bit. We're going to see one sneak through here. Oh, no.
Almost. Man, I would have loved to see Ryan get one off there. At 500 feet, pretty flat. I would imagine with his arm and a perfect shot, he might be able to get an eagle bid at this.
Right.
Beautiful second shot from Nicolai there. From a standstill. That was pretty impressive. And he's got a longer look for a birdie still.
280's the basket.
Is it saying 289 there?
I think he said 280 to the basket.
Gotcha.
Either way, 280 or 289. Nice to have a caddy dad out there.
Caddied head.
That's frustrating.
It's that kind of hole. Just trees and trees and trees.
And Peter throwing down a forehand roller here to perfection. I love to see that. Forehand rollers are so fun to watch. Any rollers, really, but I enjoy watching a good forehand roller.
Yep. Here's another one. Didn't work out so well.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this hole is called Smoke in a Hole. I've said all the other nicknames, so I don't want to miss any now. Yeah. Easy to get in trouble on this one if you don't stay on the fairway. The rough is pretty punishing. Oh, so close for Axel there. Pretty close for Ryan as well. I think this hole has given our card collectively more trouble than any other hole so far.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure. As soon as I got out there to film this hole, I was looking at it going, man, this is a doozy. That thing is, it's a beast.
Solid putt from Nicolai there. Saves the par.
You want it or me?
Bogey from Ryan. And great birdie from Peter there with a forehand roller second shot. He still gets the birdie. That is impressive. Take another look at that forehand roller form.
That was the shot.
That was a baseball throw as the man was in baseball attire. Perfect. On to the last hole of our front nine. Hole 9, par 4, 496 feet. This one is called Eagle Ace. Don't know how aceable it is, so maybe the nickname has some other origin.
Yeah, there's pretty much no way, I'd say.
Yeah, this is actually a tough par 4 with how uphill the second shot is.
Mm-hmm. Extremely uphill at the end there. Probably hard to tell.
Yeah, you'll see when the players are on their second shots, but that was a pretty much picture-perfect drive from Peter right to the bottom of the hill. He should just have a little putter chip shot up the hill to the green for a birdie.
Safe shot there, out in the fairway.
Nicolai just a little high. Flirting with that ceiling, and he hits it. At least it stayed in the fairway.
Oh,
no, Ryan low on that forehand.
yeah, I think that previous shot had him thinking a little too much there.
Miss it.
Oh, man, just a foot left.
Calls for the miss. Doesn't get it. No.
Players are feeling some frustration out here. It is a very technical and demanding course, and tiring too with all the hills.
It really is. Oh man.
You just can't catch a break. Poor kid. Nicolai's third. Can he get up there and save the par? Sit. Yep. He's excited.
He's a very vocal player.
Sure, all the players know that any shot, even if it lands up on the green, could easily pop up and roll.
Definitely.
So they're all nervous until the disc fully comes to rest. Great upshot there as well.
And he's parked. Good shot. Splits the gap. Oh, man.
Oh, no. Oh, did it stay there? Okay, it did. Still, man, he's been having some bad luck on this hole. And look at this drive from Peter. Just a little chip shot up to the green and an easy birdie. He did all the work off the tee on that one. Shrug.
Not a thing.
Easy peasy. Oh. No way.
Yeah, that's always a risk with shots like these.
Almost makes the putt, and the bad luck continues.
Yep. Good shot.
And he's recovered.
Yep. Nicolai saves the par. He's at even for the front nine with 2 birdies and 2 bogeys. Axel with a birdie there, putting him to 4 down, bogey free on the front nine. And an unfortunate triple bogey from Ryan. See if he can turn it around on the back. And Peter tapping in a birdie for a 5 down front nine, starting with a spit out for bogey on hole 1. He really turned that around. 5 birdies in a row to finish that front nine.
Get a good look at Axel's form there. Good follow through.
His form really reminds me a lot of Kyle Klein. I mentioned that to him today. He said it was not intentional, but hey, it's a good player to emulate, whether intentionally or not. Taking a look at our scores here through 9 holes, even, 2 over, 4 down, 5 down. A lot more exciting golf on the back, more woods shots, more water carries, a couple open holes to finish. Come back and join us.